ये मिस्टी ग्रीन है, इसमें ग्रीन तो है नहीं।
ह्यूज है इसमें ग्रीन के पर ये
Hues. OnePlus is back with another phone. It's the Nord 3 this time around. The previous Nord was a good departure from what OnePlus was planning with the second generation. And the third one, even though full of fingerprints, is a pretty impressive device to say the least. Guys, before we get started, if you like iGyan content, let us know in the comments below what your favorite feature of the OnePlus Nord 3 is. And make sure to hit that subscribe button if you're new here, because we post really nice content. Let's get started with the video. So you do have two colors. This one is the Misty Green. I don't know why this is green. And then there is also a Tempest Grey. This has a glossy finish, the Misty Green. The Tempest Grey has a matte finish. Inside the box, you'll get the phone along with some documentation, a SIM ejector tool, and the cover. This cover is a really nice cover and also a big departure from what you get, those transparent yellowing ones. This one will not do that. And it has a nice grip on the inside and overall has a nice color as well, which matches the actual exterior of the phone, which I really like. You also get a charger in the box, which has an 80-watt charging speed. It's a SuperVOOC charger, and then you also get the USB cable, and that's basically it. The phone itself is fairly nicely built, although you have a plastic frame, but you have Gorilla Glass 5 on the front as well as the back. The back, I have to say, is really nice. It's got a tapered edge. It feels really comfortable in the hand. And I personally like the look of this big, bold design on the back with large camera lenses. In fact, much better than what I saw with the OnePlus 11. So this kind of reminds me of the HTC Desire, and I like that design a lot. And this mimics that, so I have no complaints. There's a funny thing happening over here is that there is a LED flash which is over here. And then we have this thing. Care to explain what this thing is? But let's talk about the device itself. And on the front, you have a punch hole camera in the center, which is over here. And the display is more or less fully covering the front, but you do have a little bit of a chin at the bottom of the screen. The phone also has an IP54 rating. While not the best, any kind of water resistance is good. And despite a plastic frame, it's really nicely built and it doesn't bend at all and doesn't have any squeaking sounds whatsoever. So really nice build quality. I actually really like it. I would have liked a metal frame, but then it would make the phone expensive. Speaking of price, the lower variant is MRP'd at 33,999, and this one with the 16GB of RAM and 256GB of storage is MRP'd, or the MRP of this is 37,999, but we expect it to be launched for a much lower price, and we'll have links for you guys to buy it in case you're interested in this phone in the description below, so you should go check it out. The display is a 6.74-inch display with a 450 pixel per inch pixel density. You've got an in-display fingerprint sensor at the bottom over here. The resolution is 2772 by 1240 pixels, so a total of 450 pixels per inch. And then you also have a 450 nits of peak brightness and a native brightness of 500 nits, although we expect the peak brightness with the full screen to be around 900 to 1000 nits. The peak number is usually given at a single percent, so that's not really useful in this scenario, but the screen is nicely visible indoors as well as outdoors, so we expect the number to be somewhere around 900 to 1000 nits. The display also has a dynamic refresh rate going all the way from 40 Hz at the lowest end to 120 Hz at the highest end. And then you have a massive 1000 Hz of touch response, which is obviously a overinflated number. We are expecting the touch response to be somewhere in the 360 Hz range, but then again, they overclock it and they give you a fake touch response number. So 1000 Hz, but no complaints there either. The display also has HDR10 Plus support and is rated for Netflix HDR as well as Amazon Prime HDR, so you'll have no issues running HDR content on any of those streaming platforms. The phone runs on a MediaTek Dimensity 9000 chip with two variants, 8GB or 16GB of RAM, and then 8GB is paired with 128GB of storage, and 16GB of RAM is paired with 256GB of storage. That's the variant that we are checking out. You also get virtual RAM, so you can enhance the RAM further using the storage on the device. You do have a dual SIM slot on the bottom here, but no micro SD expansion, so that's a bummer. The phone does support 5G, and the network strength has been good in our testing. And we'll have a sample for you when we get to that section of the video. The display itself is really nice and vivid to look at. Colors and the saturation is good. It's great for media consumption, and the speaker is also fairly loud on this device. As far as benchmarks are concerned, Antutu gives a score of somewhere in the 9 lakh range, which is impressive for this range of device and also sort of matches devices in this price bracket. We'll also put some other benchmarks on the screen for you right now. As far as gaming is concerned, this phone does perform well, and in just day-to-day use, you'll find that the user interface is really responsive, fast and smooth. Just running between applications, just going through menus, everything seems super fluid and extremely responsive on this device. On the inside is also a 5000 mAh battery, which is a dual cell battery. So it's split into two, assumingly. And then it does have SuperVOOC fast charging, and it can charge up to 100% in about 32 minutes. Which is impressive. The battery also has 1600 charge cycle rating, which should last you a fairly long time, and OnePlus claims it will last about 4 years with an average charging cycle that most people have. On the back, you'll see 3 cameras: a 50 megapixel f1.8 camera, which is the primary camera, an 8 megapixel f2.2 camera, which is an ultra wide camera with a 120 degree field of view, and then you also have a 2 megapixel macro camera, which has an f2.4 aperture. The back can shoot 4K video at 60 frames per second. On the front, you have a 16 megapixel front-facing camera with an f2.4 aperture. The front camera can shoot video at only 1080p at just 30 frames per second. So big departure from the back to the front in terms of video. I also dislike the 2 megapixel macro camera. You know that I think that those cameras are basically garbage, and the ultra wide is more than capable of handling that. And then that way they could have had one camera each for the top as well as the bottom glass, but right now in the bottom glass you have 2 cameras. The top glass has the 50 megapixel main camera, and like I said, you have a dual LED flash over here, but this thing is ultra sus. The front camera also does really nice portraits, and the back camera also has a portrait mode, and edge detection is pretty good. Video sample also looks nice, and the microphone pickup is also pretty impressive. OnePlus is sticking to its promise of not removing the alert slider. So the OnePlus Nord 3 also has the alert slider, which is over here with 3-step switching, which is great. Also, you have dual speakers on this device, so the overall audio is pretty nice. And here's a sample for you guys to check out. In both cases, you can capture 4K video at 60 frames per second from the back as well as the front. Here is what the microphone sounds like on the OnePlus Nord 3, and if you're wondering what the incoming sound sounds like, here is what the incoming sound sounds like on the OnePlus Nord 3. Thank you for watching. And for those who are wondering, yes, the call recording does have an announcement for when the call recording starts and when the call recording ends. Overall, network strength is pretty good on 5G, and we didn't have any issues indoor as well as outdoor. You also do have voice over Wi-Fi. So once that connects, then you're basically sorted. Indoors and outdoors network strength has been pretty good. Like I said, you have dual SIM capabilities on this device, but no expansion, which is a bummer. Also, the plastic frame is my only letdown with this device, which has been a pretty nice overall well packaged device. And this price segment is also heating up with a lot of phones now in this price bracket offering a lot of good specifications for a really affordable price, or a relatively affordable price. So the mid-range is heating up. This device adds to that fire and is a pretty impressive option in that price bracket as well. If you guys want us to do a comparison between this, the Moto Edge, and the Pocophone that was recently launched, we'll do that for you. Let us know in the comments below. If you enjoyed the video, hit the like button, hit the subscribe button. If you're not already a part of Team iGyan, this has been Bharat. I will see you guys in the next one.